A couple of stories to mention. Apparently, UK train fares are the most expensive in Europe, Peter. You travel around on the trains quite a bit, don't you?
I do.
Football and various other things.
Yep.
Do you find them to be ridiculously expensive?
They are expensive. Because I'm over 60, I've got a senior rail card, which costs me about 35 quid a year and gets me a discount. So I'm often sitting next to my mates going to an away match, and I will have paid significantly less than they have. But even so, the ticketing is a mess. The fares are way too expensive.
It's very confusing, isn't it?
It really is. And what I don't understand is that the closer you get to your departure date, then the more expensive the ticket is.
Right.
Now, I think that is exploitative, because if you go into a supermarket, the closer you get to a use-by date, then the supermarket will put a yellow label on that and sell it to you for cheaper. Yeah, right. Because they want to sell it.
Yeah.
So why don't the rail operators do the same thing? They do completely the opposite, and they make the tickets sky high if you book at short notice. And it's a service which is so inconsistent from one operator to another.
Yes.
The quality of the trains, again, dreadfully inconsistent. And if you are unfortunate, like many, many people, to get an expensive ticket on a shabby train with an appalling service, that is far too frequent an experience for people, and we really need to get a grip.
I'm sure it will all get better once they start nationalising it all. It really won't. I don't think it will. Let's get a voice note from Christopher.
Morning, Mike. Morning, Peter. Great to see you on the show again, Peter. I'd like to know if you think the government are not telling us the truth by not raising the terrorist alert value, because armed police at Christmas markets and shopping malls, and the Surrey police saying that it's just normal and then taking that down, I believe that the terror threat should have been raised, but the government don't want to do it.
I mean, as far as I know, and you know better than me, Peter, I mean, the terror threat is pretty high at the moment. It's called substantial, I think, right now, so it can't go much higher, can it?
Yeah, and that means that a terrorist threat is likely.
Yeah.
You know, it's
right, it's always likely, basically.
Yeah, it means a terror attack is likely. The terror threat is there continually.
Yeah.
This really got my goat, this complete deception by Surrey police when they put that tweet out. They called the armed patrols at Christmas events. They said, if you see armed police officers patrolling at Christmas events, don't be alarmed. It's part of routine patrols. No, it isn't.
Right.
A Christmas market was attacked and many people lost their lives in 2016 in mainland Europe.
Yeah.
In 2018, there was another Christmas market attack when people were murdered. And only this year, in June and in November, people have been arrested for plotting attacks on Christmas markets.
Yes.
Christmas markets are a target.
Right.
That is why you may well see armed police patrols around them.
Right.
They are not routine. Surrey police lied, and it is not the job of the police to lie.
Right.
And the sooner they get a grip of that, then the better they might be respected.
It's unbelievable why they would do something and then pretend that they're not doing it. Substantial, by the way, is a sort of mid sort of attack threat level because it goes from low to moderate to substantial to severe to critical. We've had severe in the past. I think we've had critical for a while. But, you know, you'd have to wonder about, with what's going on in Syria, whether the attack level might be raised. We shall see. Let's talk a bit about the mad scooter rider who's in the papers this morning. This is in the middle of Storm Dara, right? On, I think it is page 21 of The Sun. You can see a character on one of those basic electric scooters that you normally see people riding around in London. He's on the Aston Expressway in Birmingham, which, if you're not familiar with it, is a pretty busy, you know, sort of 4-lane highway, if you like. Goes around the outskirts of Birmingham and then goes through the middle of it. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to do that?
It is absolute lunacy. You wouldn't get me on one of those things on a bright, dry, warm, sunny day.
No.
Let alone in the midst of Storm Dara. The thing which hugely irritates me about things like this, and it is applicable to so much reckless and dangerous behaviour on our roads, whether that's reckless driving, dangerous driving, or I mean, just frankly ludicrous.
I know.
Or people that drink after they've drive after they've been drinking or drugs.
It's just ridiculous.
It's not what they might do to themselves. It's what they will do to innocent, law-abiding road users or pedestrians. If somebody got hit at speed on that scooter, I would imagine it would fly for goodness knows how far. And what might or who might it land on? It's reckless, it's lunacy.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Now, just one for the Christmas Party Brigade, right? This is a story in the Times today. Civil servants could sue over Christmas party snubs. Now, I don't know what it was like in your day when you were in the police, but I would imagine a bit like when I was in Fleet Street, you know, Christmas parties could get a bit rowdy. According to this, if you're not invited to a Christmas party by your colleague, you could be advised by the civil service that you can bring legal claims for discrimination. I mean, like, the courts haven't got enough to do. You know, excuse me, what's the next case up? Oh, yeah, it's Jane from accounts who's complained about the fact that Roger from HR didn't invite her to the Christmas party last week. For God's sake.
I've got a huge smile on my face as I cast my mind back to Christmas parties of yesteryear.
Indeed.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. Statute of limitations prevents you from describing what may have happened, of course.
The consensual fun we had, there was a lot of it. There really was.
Yeah.
Joyous, joyous days. And I was fortunate enough to get invited to quite a few.
Yeah.
If you don't get invited, well, be a better work colleague. You might get an invite next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't go to court.
No, this is the Public and Commercial Services Union, which is the largest civil service union, telling its members, if you're not invited, and if you suspect it might be because of your age, your gender, your religion, or your ethnicity, then an employment tribunal awaits.
All of which will be protected characteristics,
of course.
no doubt, you see.
I didn't realise age was now suddenly becoming a disability. I could start claiming that, couldn't I?
It's my birthday tomorrow.
You know, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Absolutely amazing. Tom in Northumberland says this: great show as always, Mike. I would love to see Peter as head of the UK police. His common sense approach is exactly what we need. Keep up the great work. Talk radio. You're definitely rattling the cages of this useless, cruel government. I honestly despair at the next 4.5 years of Starmer and Labour. There you are.
Not alone.
There isn't really a job as head of UK police, but you could definitely do it.
No, yeah, but of course they take as part of the application process.
Yeah,
you see, I'd fill that out, and then they'd invariably have a little look at my social media posts.
Yeah, put a line through it,
and I can be a bit potty-mouthed.
Yes, and
all of that, for which I apologise.
Yeah,
sometimes things irritate me to the point where my language deteriorates.
Listen, it's fair enough. You can do that on some shows, but not on this one. Thank you very much.